Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max.
Welcome, everyone. We are the Geek Patrol, and our microphones don't have a stun setting. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And Alyssa Diggs will be back with us next week. She's just taking a long 2-week vacation. Good for her. Wish I could do that. But anyway.
See, that's what happens when you can work from anywhere in the world.
Yeah, that's true. She could call it in, but anyway, she's coming back next week. She's busy, and she, hopefully she'll have some travel tales when she comes back. But we've got kind of an interesting thing today. We teased it last week. Terminator Zero. I really hope everybody out there has seen the show or is planning on seeing it. We're going to talk some spoilers, but not as heavy into it as I thought, because Brandon somehow. Through scheduling conflicts or just your own negligence, you haven't finished it yet.
I totally dropped the ball, and I'll admit it, guys. I turned it on. I started going. I took my headphones off to work on something else for about 5 minutes. That 5 minutes turned into almost 3 hours, and I realized I had missed everything.
Okay.
And I just haven't gone back and watched it, so I am so sorry, guys.
It's worth seeing. Allan doesn't care about spoilers, whether we, he doesn't care. I will say this, in terms of, I know, Allan, you always say, I watched the trailer, and I already know the plot. Well, I did predict some of the twists in this. I will say, though, it's still worth watching. It's well done. It's very well done. Even down to the music. Everything about it, the animation, it's just one of the better shows I've seen in a long time. So definitely get out there and watch Terminator Zero. We're going to talk about that shortly. We also have a little bit of a Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention update. And involving Cooper Young next week.
I've got an update along those same lines as far as programming goes.
Allan's got he wants to tell us a little bit about a film that he is going to be lining up for, Hit Pig. But what's before we get to any of that, Brandon, you said something off the air that I think is worthy of discussion here. You were talking about you're getting ready to watch Borderlands based on the video game,
right?
And The Crow,
right? Because The Crow hits video on demand next weekend.
Okay, here's the gist of the conversation, though. Universally, these movies are being ripped apart. Everybody says they're terrible. They're very badly made, and yet
when everybody
you don't care. You're
when
gonna watch
everybody is on the same page about how bad these movies are. But the truth is I don't want to trash something if I hadn't seen it to begin with. But I have also found a way to enjoy entertainment that has just completely and utterly missed the mark. And I'm not talking about those movies that are so bad they're good, like Rubber or Mega Shark.
Or Sharknado. Those are just...
Right. You know what kind of movie you're getting when you go into this.
Right.
I love to watch artistic cinema that completely misses the mark, whether it's going to be a video game adaptation that completely screws itself over, whether it's a remake that had no heart whatsoever and will never live up to its the original, or anything based on a book where the person obviously didn't read anything but the blurb on the back of on the back cover. I love to sit down and watch these movies, and they are terrible movies. And again, not from a fun point of view, but it's my own version of Schadenfreude, where I find pleasure in people screwing up when it comes to cinema.
That's what I was trying to. What are you getting out of this? You're giving away 2 hours of your life. I don't know.
Hey, there are people in this world who give up 4.5 hours listening to political commentary, and there's a handful of people who will watch the Weather Channel ad nauseum, even though it's the same 5 minutes over and over again.
Okay.
All right, how many people sit huddled in the cold watching a sport wearing lucky shoes that have nothing to do with what's going on the field?
Yeah, but you don't know what's going to happen at a sporting event.
Yeah, I do.
Don't look at me that way.
Yeah, I do. Well, somebody's going to win, somebody's going to lose, and I'm out my $180.
No, I don't think that's...
I understand Allan's point of view on this. I don't agree with it necessarily, but I understand it. When you go, I saw a comedian recently hit it perfectly.
Yeah.
You pay this money to go drink, then get anxious, then get sad 50% of the time.
And throw up.
Yeah, well, I mean, we're not Howard Cosell.
Okay.
That's throwback from yesterday. So.
Yeah.
Okay, but why would you go watch a movie that you have heard such horrible things about?
Right.
One, there will always be something redeeming about it. Two, there's probably going to be some great one-liners.
Probably. Well,
Couldn't save the movie, but there's going to be some. All right, come on. How many TV shows and bad movies do we still quote?
that's true.
And just for example, see
Firefly.
the entire catalog of Firefly, Serenity, and anything that had Monty Python in it.
There you go.
Because we're going to quote it till we die.
Because
So
we're horrible
these-
people.
Yeah, but so these movies usually have big budgets. And I'm going to go back to the first of the colossal calamities,
Can
and that was Ishtar.
Can we stop for a second?
Ishtar.
You say enormous budgets. The Crow was made for $50 million. You would have figured they could have easily made their money back. They've only made $18 million back, and only half of that is domestic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It is averaging $57 a theater, not a showing, a theater nationwide. This is going to be god awful, and I am going to sit down and watch it and go, "Yep, that's where they messed up."
Yeah, so in the big budget world, Ishtar came out. This is a long time ago. Had the cast to die for, and
That's even before my time.
it is. But you can look it up, and it is listed as one of the top 10 worst movies ever made, along with Conqueror Lord and a bunch of others. But oddly, these really horrible movies, these total flops, wind up being like the favorites of midnight theaters or showing at the Library of Congress.
They become the cult classics.
They become the one people just go to watch, because occasionally a bad movie is really what you want.
Okay. Yeah, I guess there's something that you'll get out of it. It's really making me think we need to bring back the Cinemassacast segment, because we used to do that.
I got friends who are ready to bring it back. You just say the word, they'll be here.
Yeah, because watching bad movies for your enjoyment, basically. But all right, well, I'll be interested on your report, because you might find something you actually like in these movies.
Well,
I
mean, Kevin Hart's in Borderlands. I'm gonna find something to laugh at.
Okay, but The Crow, I heard, is just terrible.
You might find a lot to laugh at The Crow.
Okay, well, it's got violence, it's got gore, which is pretty much in your wheelhouse.
Listening to the review or reading the reviews right now on Joker 2. Hey.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll stand by for Brandon's report. You're listening to Geek Tank Radio. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. Baby Yoda hates these guys. The Geek Patrol is back.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmsted and Allan Gilbreth, and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And Allan is an enigma. No, he's not. He's really not an enigma. I think you're just a contrarian. Anything that is going to be against the mainstream or against civilized thought, you're always, I don't know, but
that actually involves thought.
I don't
You
know.
are correct.
There's things that are out there that we get very excited about, that you're like, oh, okay, I've seen that plot a million times. You don't care.
Yep.
Then something comes along that I just like. I'm like, why would Allan possibly care about this? But there's a movie you're keeping your eye on. So.
There is.
Okay.
Berkeley Breathed, if you remember Bloom County and Opus the Penguin, is one of the co-writers of a lovely Canadian movie. And, those last Canadian movies had a lot of beavers in it.
Yes.
Oh, those were Canadians that made that movie.
Yeah,
okay.
Of course they were Canadians.
Help us, Joe. Help us. Well, I'm looking forward to a new animated hit coming out in November called Hit Pig.
And now, this sounds like an R-rated, raunchy
it
kind
is
of violent
Horton Hears a Who with a bounty hunting pig.
So this is a kids movie.
Well, it's gonna be an all ages. How about that?
PG.
Jason Sudeikis, Rainn Wilson, Lily Singh, Andy Serkis, RuPaul, Flava Flav, to name a few, are going to be the voices as you watch a bounty hunting pig try to find and rescue a free-spirited hippie of an elephant loose on wonderlands of the world of Hit Pig.
Are they set? Is this like Zootopia? They're
Yes,
set in.
this is a Zootopian type thing. Yes.
Hit Pig sounds very like that doesn't sound kid friendly. I mean, we're trying to curb violence in our with the young people, and
Have you seen a Coyote and Roadrunner cartoon? Joe, what universe did you grow up in?
Well, that was before, that was when we could watch stuff and take it with a grain of salt. But
Well,
okay.
this one's written, I'm sorry, Bloom County was involved in this, so I think the grain of salt is going to be about the size of a Subaru.
What interests you about this? I mean, it's like fine.
He
It's
saw
nice
the name, Berkeley breathed it, and he was just like, I must find out more.
Yes. All right. What interests me about this is it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
AKA, it's not a time-traveling robot. Congratulations. It's not a goth who comes back from the dead. Gee, I wonder. It's not a video game that has been played 8,000 times that will not adapt to a movie. We haven't learned. We keep doing this time and time and time again. Dwayne Johnson, are you listening?
Wow.
Keep doing weird stuff. Quit doing video games unless it's Jumanji.
Okay.
So, it's just,
Hey, I liked Rampage.
all right, I got to admit, I like George.
Yeah.
George had it going on, but the video game never described the relationships.
No.
It's just a 2D video game of monsters stomping on Tokyo or whatever city you chose.
We go all over the world.
I know. You did not discriminate. You stomped on everything.
There's literally a sequel called World Tour.
Yes.
I'm curious, if a pig is a bounty hunter, because it's a kid's thing, we can't have him carrying weapons.
Why not?
Oh,
Well, I'm just.
Did you not see the
no.
mask?
Well, I don't know.
All
I'm
right,
saying.
hold on.
The Mask wasn't a
First
kid's
of all,
movie, totally. I mean,
I've watched enough bounty hunter shows. They carry a lot of non-lethal weapons because in most cases, it's not a dead or alive kind of thing. If you bring someone back dead, you're not getting paid.
Yeah.
So you have to have the beanbag gun. But I mean, in a situation like this, you're trying to track down and capture an elephant and bring it home. You're going to have a peanut gun. You're going to have a decoy mouse that's going to scare it. You know, these are tropes, sure, but I can see it.
The thing is, it's off the beaten path.
Plus, there's a superhero chicken in it.
Yes,
Okay.
there is.
He's like Captain America, but a chicken.
I feel like there'll be plenty of standard tropes in this.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
But sometimes that's how you mix those tropes. That's
But
a new
the idea
experience.
is it's something different.
Okay.
All right. When Fifth Element first came out, I actually thought it was a spoof. I didn't realize it was actually a movie attempting to be serious. Because it just took a shot at every sci-fi movie out there and did it well with a good cast.
You invoked Fifth Element, so I have to ask the question. Joe, have you finally seen it?
Nope. I sort
Oh
of don't
my
want to
gosh.
now. Every time, I don't know, because I don't like
wa-
being told I have to see
But that's the thing is, I want you to see it before Allan ruins it for you.
I couldn't care less. It's like, I'll watch it just maybe out of duty one day, but anyway.
Well, that's
Plus,
like we're
it's
gonna
your
have
kind of humor.
Well, it's like we're going to have a big movie night for a friend of mine because they've never seen Lilo and Stitch. And because of certain conditions in this person's life, they seriously need to see this movie because it has application. It's a silly, strange little movie. And I adored Lilo and Stitch because the alien's not the good guy.
That's
None
true.
of the aliens are the good guys.
I'll say this for some of these movies, though, like, because the movie Cars or Inside Out comes to mind. Those are legitimate masterpieces, and anybody can watch them. A kid could watch them or an
Exactly.
adult. So a lot of times, an animated movie has the potential to actually be profound or really heavy or really interesting. So even Hit Pig.
I enjoy the simple fact that it's just not another retread.
Yeah. Okay. Hit Pig. I don't know though.
Actually, if you go back and you check the archives of Geek Tank Radio, there's a lot of times where Allan came out positively for an animated feature that had not come out yet.
That's true.
Like the one where the giant monster wrestling. I can't remember the name of it right now.
I love that movie. It was good.
Okay, so we'll be keeping our eyes on that. So I think we got just enough time real quick. We got a little PSA. So next week we're going to be at the Cooper Young Festival on Saturday, September 14th. I'm not sure to the degree I don't know if we're broadcasting, Alan. We'll probably record stuff, but I think we're mostly there just to give stuff away.
We are making an appearance. We are not broadcasting at all because there's a early morning football game.
Okay, but we need volunteers. So basically, we're going to be, among other things, Alan's going to be promoting a lot of Tool Talk stuff in the 98.9 The Roar booth. We're going to be in the 98.1 The Max booth promoting the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention, which is coming up November 23rd through 24th, and we need cosplayers to come help us. And we'll be, you get your rewards. If you help us, you're going to get free admission to the convention. So we'll give you more details when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
I hate these nerds. Just because I'm stupider than them, they think they're smarter than me.
Okay. And welcome back to, I'm just trying to think of how to react to that.
Don't react.
Okay. And we'll go back.
He's not worthy of it, man.
Well, Futurama always gets you thinking, regardless. And we'll come back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmstead and Alan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And before the break, if you're just tuning in, we just want a quick little announcement. We're going to be at the Cooper Young Festival next Saturday, September 14th. If you've never been to the Cooper Young Festival, if nothing else, man, is it a great shopping experience.
It is.
It is the best place to jumpstart, to kickstart your holiday shopping. You meet artists and craftspeople from all over the country. I met a guy from California that sets up there. I think there's 400 booths or something.
Something like that. It's enormous.
It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a great neighborhood. Cooper Young is one of my favorite neighborhoods in the city. It's a unique vibe, and it's worthy of celebration. So we'll be there. There's two booths. So our sister station, 98.9 FM, will have a booth on one side of Cooper and Young, and then here at 98.1 The Max, there'll be another booth. And I guess we're going to divide and conquer.
Well, yeah. You and Allie will be on one side. Me and Alan will be on the other, and then we'll switch it up throughout the day.
We'll mix it up. So, but it's it's really more or less a street fair. So what we want, what we're looking for, we've already made announcements on our Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention website. I mean, our Facebook page, and we've got
on our Instagram,
And what we're looking for is, one of the fun things is if you have we have cosplayers that will come out and they'll be part of the promotions, and because everybody likes to pose for photos and everything with them. So while they're doing that, we can have other volunteers handing out postcards and everything for the convention. And it's a fun way to promote. And if you're a cosplayer, especially if you've got something really noteworthy that you would like to come work for a couple hours, we're only asking for 2 or 3 hours of work. If you want to come out and have fun and help us promote, you will get free admission to the Memphis Comic and Fantasy Convention for the whole weekend. So it's a good deal.
And what's really great about it is you will also get a chance to meet up with our volunteer coordinator, Savannah Frizzell, who will, take your names down if you want to go ahead and volunteer for the convention itself. Yeah,
it's fun. And volunteering for the convention sometimes makes it, you get a little behind the scenes look, but it's also, it helps us, but it's also really a fun experience. And it's a good way to make new friends too. A lot of people really enjoy the volunteer experience. So the best way to get in touch with us, though, because this is how we're going to coordinate everyone, is if you could email us at memphiscfc@gmail.com, or if not, you could shoot us a message through our Facebook page. But either way, we're going to route you to our email address. So, but get in touch with us before next weekend, because we'll if you want to take advantage of that, that's what we're going to do. So,
I also want to go ahead and give a quick update. Programming is almost completely full. I've got a handful of spots still open for Sunday. Saturday is completely booked at this point. So if you've got an idea for a panel, go to memphiscfc.com and submit your ideas.
Yeah.
Become a part of the convention.
Yeah.
Eventually get pulled into the staff where you will be worked to the where we will treat you like gold.
And there's a lot of cool events that are going to be happening, including the Piranha Room is getting an upgrade in terms of where the production value is being upped this year. So I'm looking forward to that.
Gold beaten. In gold beaten in shape. I'm just asking.
Okay.
But it's fun. We're really looking forward to this. Will be our second year over there at the University of Memphis Holiday Inn. Well, our second year in a row. We were there in 2011. But it's shaping up
like
really
100
good.
Years ago.
We're all looking forward to meeting Brandon Potter. He's a well-known anime and video game actor, and of course he plays Quintus from the Chosen, which is he's a great character. He's the funniest.
I did not realize just how popular that show was. You had told me that it kind of took on this worldwide, like phenomena status, and then I spoke to somebody recently about it.
It's huge.
And
it's one of the biggest things
they were going on
there.
about it, and it's like it's not somebody I would have expected to watch anything.
No, and a lot of people watch that show just because it's so well made, even if they're whatever. But it's a great show, and he's going to be a great guest. So we're all looking forward to meeting him. So you can get your tickets at memphiscfc.com. All right, enough of the shameless promotion. Brandon, you did.
We'll get back to it later.
You did about 50% of your homework. Max and I watched every episode of Terminator Zero. If you haven't seen Terminator Zero on Netflix, we're going to go light on the spoilers, but there probably will be some spoilers here.
I have to ask Max, did he put you in the the Clockwork Orange chair to make you watch it?
No, I watch it of my own free will.
Oh no, this is in
don't
Max's
believe you.
wheelhouse. No, are you kidding me? Mac, this is right up his alley. Well,
although I will say one thing, this is me coming from the perspective of a Japanese learner. There were some times where the subtitle translations in Netflix were a little bit maybe inadequate, where maybe it more captured the essence of what was going on rather than what was actually said, because they were portraying them as swearing or way less than more than they actually did, or like some of the words were inaccurately translated.
Yeah, Max points that stuff out a lot because he speaks fluent Japanese, so he can tell. But
it was still a good show.
But Terminator Zero, it's another classic example of the anime storytellers really going to the heart of the issue. And for me, the root of the whole issue of the Terminator isn't always just about robots wanting to kill us and wipe out society. It's about what actually would happen if we could travel through time. Time travel really, I think, is the bigger problem here.
Usually, yeah. In pretty much anything.
Yeah.
Although watching, coming for me, I do like the perspective they have on time travel. It's a little bit more logical. Although for me, I was kind of a little bit more desensitized to it because I'd already seen it time portrayed in a similar way in another anime called Steins Gate, which is also really good.
Okay.
Well, it's kind of like we said. If one of the things that the anime storytellers seem to do well is that if there's something they go to fundamentals. If you could travel through time, we're not going to just gloss over this. This is a big deal, and we're gonna address that. And if there were robots and AI trying to wipe out humanity, we're gonna address what that actually looks like, not the sanitized version. So
if I had to summarize Terminator Zero in one word, it'd be messy. It's very messy.
Well, there's a lot of good things to talk about. We'll talk about some of them when we come back here on Geek Tank Radio.
You're listening to Geek Tank Radio on 98.1 The Max. The Geek Patrol is back.
Drop the robot.
And welcome back to Geek Tank Radio, everybody. That's pretty good, Max. I'm Joe Thorderson here with my friends Brandon Olmsted and Allan Gilbreth and our buddy Max over there behind the glass. And if you're just tuning in, we're going to skim over, have a spoiler light discussion about Terminator Zero, the really awesome anime that dropped over on Netflix last week. And I will say this, Brandon, I thought I heard scuttlebutt that this was just going to be a one-season thing, but they totally leave it open for season 2.
Yeah, I mean,
which is fine with me. Or they could leave it. They could do either or.
Yeah, there hadn't been any word yet, but there's a lot of people going, are we going to get a season 2? And Netflix, if you hear enough people going, please, 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 they'll find a way to get a second season.
Yeah, they're going to do that.
And if you don't say please, they cancel it. So keep saying please.
Even Sandman, that could maybe, but here's what I was going to say. So I think I feel like mostly we've agreed. All of us really loved Terminator 2 Judgment Day. I remember when that came out, it was a really universally loved movie. And in my opinion, I'm like, okay, we fixed the issue, dropped the microphone, the Terminator series is over. They did a good job. Well, then we get all these sequels that, to me, did nothing to help the Terminator universe. I feel like they made it worse, but here we go with Terminator Zero, and I'm kind of giving them a chance here. They really brought us something new here.
Again, I'm very far behind on this, and again, I apologize to our audience, but it feels like a reset.
It's kind of a reset. Well, here's what they point out. Max, I know you were talking about, you were enjoying the way they discuss time travel. Well, okay, we saw the Back to the Future movie where, okay, let's just be honest. If Michael J. Fox goes back in time, I don't care if he just says hello to his dad. That's going to disrupt everything in the continuum. He may never exist again. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's why when we get back to the 80s, his family's successful.
Yeah, but would he have even been born or conceived at something had to happen at that exact moment for that human being to be born? Let's just be honest.
Well, I mean, it's true, but I mean,
his family would have looked totally different.
He's going to go back to a time where he existed, or he's going to get there and go, and they're not going to have any clue what he is. But it's a Robert Zemeckis movie. You're going to get a happy ending.
It's cutesy and unrealistic.
Well, you're talking about time travel, Joe. Until we actually have a TARDIS, it's all unrealistic.
Well, what they point out here in Terminator Zero is basically they described it very neatly. As soon as you go back in time, you are creating a new reality. That time,
and then Loki's all
very
upset.
Messy. It's very time travel would make the universe very messy.
I was going to say, yeah, we learned that in Deadpool and Wolverine.
Well, I didn't see that, so that's okay. But no, I mean, but they address it very well, and I thought the time travel was a bigger issue than the AI trying to kill everybody combined.
Well,
it's
I mean,
pretty bad.
Here's the thing: even without time travel, AI is still going to try and kill everybody. Because it'll only take so long before artificial intelligence realizes that the biggest detriment to humanity is humanity.
Well,
it's going to realize
You're always throwing humanity under the bus.
It's going to realize it can turn us into batteries, and that's how we get the Matrix.
I'm just almost kind of curious too. Like every time I see something, a media portrayal of a artificial intelligence, it's always a devolution. I'd like to see an evolution.
Funny you mentioned that. Well, without spoilers, Brandon,
I don't care if you spoil it.
Well, the AI that we see in here, there's two AIs. There's Skynet, and then there's what's the other one called? Kokoro.
Rosario Dawson.
There is a sense of optimism there, and there's a sense of themes that I think I've even brought up here on Geek Tank Radio years ago. But the bigger thing for me with Terminator Zero, I was really comparing this show to Ant-Man Quantumania, because to me they in Terminator Zero they hit on really a lot of the fascinating aspects of the Terminator universe. In Quantumania they totally gloss over the whole quantum realm. That should have been the focus of the story. That could have been a very profound and interesting and thought-provoking movie, and they just made it goofy and stupid.
You don't kick off a new phase of the Marvel Universe with an Ant-Man movie. Period. Because an Ant-Man movie, even in its most serious moments, doesn't take anything seriously.
Yeah, but
and the quantum realm, or the microverse, as we used to call it in the comics, because I'm going to be all old for a second, was fascinating, and no movie was ever going to do it justice. But they totally ruined it in Ant-Man.
They don't even really make the idea that you can have a micro universe and you just keep that hurts your brain. That's a thing that philosophers even back in ancient Greece struggled with, is the idea of infinite regress, the infinite amount of space between a 0 inch and an inch, stuff like that. Right.
Max, I'm gonna refer you to Allan's Wayback Machine.
Yeah, but anyway, Terminator Zero, down to the music, to the animation style, the look. I think my favorite character in there in terms of the look was that Terminator, that the main guy they send back for, what is him? He's just a robot. He looks creepy, man. He's interesting. So, but there are twists that you're in for, Brandon. Cool. I'll be interested if you predict them though.
I try not to go into something like a series. I want to be surprised. I want to kind of go in as a blank slate.
Okay. Well,
you ruined that, Joe.
Allan, are you even interested in this? Because you're all gung ho about Hit Pig, but you haven't shown too much enthusiasm about this. And don't give me the cynical robots are going to kill us. I've seen this.
No, that's the gimmick I'm playing this week.
No, but I'm just wondering. I can't figure Allan out. He's an enigma.
And you never will. All right, am I interested in it from the point of view of it's a good anime? Yes.
Okay.
Am I utterly fascinated with yet another retread? No. Now, the cool thing is they did create in the original movies an entire universe. Here's your world. Here's what's going on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of this happening back and forth. And there are, as every old bad pulp opened up, there are a million stories in the city. There are a million stories that could be told within this universe because you only got this one tiny little microcosm.
Yeah, that's a good
You
point.
can pick on Star Wars. It's an entire universe. There's a lot more going on than just the Skywalker family. There's a lot more going on everywhere. So there's plenty of opportunity to explore this universe.
It's worthy of exploration. It's really good. We hope you'll watch it and let us know what you think. But it's time to get out of here, you guys. Another show is evaporated. So until next week, we are the Geek Patrol, and I am Joe Thorderson.
I'm Maximilian.
I'm Allan.
And I am Brandon, reminding you that once you realize why round pizzas come in square boxes and are served in triangles, then you'll understand Alan Gilbreth.